Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. I saw an article, and it was a shocking reasons for juvenile crime. And we touched on it a little bit early on. It's probably been a couple weeks ago. And I just gave you guys some ideas about the amount of crime being committed by youth and things like this. And I just sort of outlined a few things that should make you a little fearful of how leftism has infiltrated the society at large and its impact on our youth. And this was a 12 News report, and here's what they wrote. They says, we wanted to know why. Statewide, in the past 5 years, there have been 373,000 plus youth arrests. Of those, 18,904 are under the age of 12 years old. So roughly 19,000, okay? While every day young people are committing crimes and officials are standing behind a podium telling us about it, 10 investigates wanted to reach out to the ones causing the crimes, asking them why. So over the past year, they said we mailed out more than 100 questionnaires to young people in prison, ranging from 18 to 20 years old. All of the men and women we reached out to had lengthy criminal histories as juveniles. We asked them questions like how old they were when they committed their first crime, to what could your parents, teachers, law enforcement have done. Every time we mailed out a handful within days, responses started to come back. Now, the results. It was a survey of just 11 questions. Geez, what am I doing today? I'm having trouble understanding this stuff. English is tough today for me. Anyway, here was the first question. How old were you when you committed your first crime? 30% said they were under 10. A third, almost. 50% said they were 10 to 12 years old. 20%, 13 to 16. So that's the age group. 30% under 10, 50% 10 to 12, 20% 13 to 16. So these crimes are being committed when these kids are early. 80% under the age of 12. Next question. What made you want to commit the crime? 44% said their friends made them want to do it. 32% said it was because they were bored. 24% said other. One commented he was curious. So what do we got here? Friends and boredom being number one, and 24% other. But 76% is based on friends and boredom, nothing to do, or hanging out with the wrong friends with nothing to do. Here's the next question. What could have stopped you from making bad decisions? 56% said more things to do. 43% said attentive parents. 38% said a different group of friends. Now you can obviously tell that's not a cumulative thing. They could answer multiple questions and get their answer. It wasn't meant to be 100%. What could your parents have done? That's the next question. 72% said paid more attention. 26% said ask more questions. So the common thread here is you got young kids under the age of 12, 80% of them committing, crimes are recidivists. They're doing multiple crimes. And overwhelmingly, they were bored, had nothing to do, could have easily been fixed with proper parental guidance. I mean, this is where we are. Okay, the survey goes on. If you committed a crime, were you scared about the trouble you would get into if you were caught? This is going to be a shocker. Let me just ask you guys this. What do you think the percentage of them said we'd be afraid if we got caught? I think it's over 50%. Obviously, it's over 50, okay? Or wouldn't be afraid. Either way you want to look at it. Okay, let's do it this way. How many do you think were afraid of being caught? 10%, 20%, 50%, 90%, whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, it's less than 50%. So would you say 80%? What do you think? Would be afraid of getting caught. That would be a reason for them to stop. You got a guess? You're both wrong. It's actually higher. They're guessing 70 to 80%. No, 100% said they were not afraid of getting caught. 100% of the kids that they sent this survey to. One person commented that they never thought about getting caught or the consequences. Another person commented, I was impulsive. I always did what came to mind, and I only worried about the consequences once I got caught. Now that's something to be thinking about. Because if a person pulls a gun on you, for example, don't think that they're not going to shoot you because they're concerned about the consequences. Goes to say, you might want to tell them, hey, look, you can do what you want, but when they find you, you're going to go to prison for life. Something like that. Wow. When would you get in the most trouble? Was the next question. 54% said during school hours. 42% said after school hours. 38% said nighttime. A lot of people commented on all three times. Would you sneak out of the house? 91% said yes. When we ask how many said that, this is weird, said out their bathroom window, I guess they meant like got out through their bedroom window once their parents fell asleep. I get it. They were asking how did they get out, and they said they got out of their bedroom windows once their parents fell asleep. Here's a good question. Were your parents strict? 44% said yes. Thus, 56% said no. Next one. Were you involved in any activities? 47% said no. A few said they were involved in sports. Others did admit they were involved in church. If the consequences were harsher from the beginning, do you think that would have made a difference? Everybody said yes. What is the one thing a parent, guardian, teacher could have done that may have prevented you from ending up in jail? One person wrote, took time to show me they cared and been a positive influence in my life. Another questioner said, they can all show more kids lots of love. That's the survey. I mean, it's so telling. And when I'm looking at that survey, there's a part of me that just feels really sorry for these kids. Because I'm going to tell you something. We are, as humans, we so crave positive feedback, particularly at a young age. And I don't care how you're cut. You may be a person that doesn't dote on accolades or things like that. But it feels good when somebody, takes a notice and says, you're going to be something. And I'm putting my faith in you. I think you're going to be a good kid or whatever. I cannot tell you how many people said that to me. And I was a good kid. I was helpful. I like doing my chores. I didn't mind things, but I can tell you, it made me feel good when people noticed.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.